Elizabeth from Running Stitch, and I'm back with a slightly overdue update. It is Monday, March 13th, and I am finally able to film today. I wanted to do this Saturday, and the day's schedule just got a little jam-packed, and so I thought, okay, well, Sunday will be just as good, and again, just too many things going on. And it actually works out that I'm filming today because the sun is finally out. Finally, like within the last 5 minutes or so, it has come out. We've had rain in the forecast since Friday, so it's been very overcast. And so things just, lighting-wise, haven't been very conducive to showing off cross-stitch and colors and all of that stuff. So yeah, like I was saying, Saturday was a super busy day. It was the first day of my spring break, and I'm very excited about that. This has been a hard school year, a very hard school year. So Saturday was the first day of my spring break, and my husband and I are laying new floors. Actually, I should rephrase that. My husband got roped into helping me lay new floors. If he's not happy about it, then he hasn't said anything. So he's been a real trooper. So Saturday we started pulling up carpet and everything that goes into that, getting baseboards pulled off, getting tack strips pulled up. Yeah, demo began. And then that afternoon about 3, I had to go to a baby shower over in Fort Worth, which was about a 20-30 minute drive for me to get over there. And I know this is the way it goes, but I don't necessarily like it very much. I don't like when things are scheduled like about 2 or 3 in the afternoon and I have to get out and go to, like, it just, I feel like it cuts right into the prime portion of my day. And don't get me wrong, I am more than happy to go to my friend's baby shower and support her, but that point in the day just, it's just not the most convenient. So that's why I didn't get filming done Saturday, because you can't really film before, because, you know, it takes me about an hour to get ready and 30 minutes to drive over there, and, you know, we got kids running around and demo work going on, and then when I got back from Fort Worth, it was like 5:45, almost 6 o'clock, and you know, it's dinner time. Plus it was really cloudy. So Saturday wasn't good. And then Sunday, yesterday, more demo. And when I say demo yesterday, we're talking like my husband spent about 3 to 3.5 hours like jackhammering tile out of our entryway. Like, it was a tough job. And I asked him, I was like, okay, so can I like take over and maybe help, you know, do some of this? And he looked at me just like, no, like, you don't have the body strength to do that. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. So I was on cleanup duty as he was, you know, chiseling out tile, and that's a rough job. Those of you who have ever had to go through that, like, we're doing this ourselves. Like, we're not paying people to come in and do this. This is a total DIY project. And so if any of you have ever taken tile up, like, you know, it's not a walk in the park. So most of the day was spent doing that, and I had rented the jackhammer, for lack of a better term, from Home Depot. So I had to go take that back, and by the time we got all done, then my running partner was like, hey, you ready to go for a run? And I was like, yeah, I had to squeeze in a 10-mile run yesterday. So, again, just life's events, just not allowing the time for me to sit down and do this. So, I'm in my same filming spot. However, things are a little different. Usually I sit at a table, my dining room table, and I'm a little higher up. But I'm still in the same spot. I'm just down on the floor. And I'm filming on my iPad, and it's propped up on stacks of the underlayment pad for the flooring. Let me see if I can turn you around here. Hang on, I'll show you what, maybe not. Oh, maybe I can't do it. Okay, let me turn you around. Okay, so here's where I'm filming. So my iPad sits in this little stand right here. So here's the stack of the floor padding. You see that? And look at my room. Look at this. Look at that. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. So this afternoon should be the beginning of laying the flooring. So I'm very excited. Okay, so that's kind of what's been going on around here the past few days. I've gotten some stitching done over the last month, not as much as I would like, but I don't know, enough to show you guys. And then I also wanted to talk about my plans for a little bit in April, because I am doing Jessie Marie's, hi Jessie, I'm doing Jessie Marie's birthday themed stitch along, which starts April 15th, tax day, which I've already gotten my return and spent half of it, so it's nice not to have to worry about that. Okay, so it starts April 15th and it goes till the 26th. So I've got some plans laid out for that. And I want to go through that real quick, and then I want to show you what I've been working on. And I have a little bit of acquisitions, not as much as last time, which is probably good. And I've had to restrain myself. I was having this lovely conversation on Facebook last week with Deborah. Hi, Deborah. And she's Arizona AZ needleworker. I think that's what her Flosstube name is. So Deborah and Jessie Marie and please forgive me if I say this wrong, Lorraine. I don't know if she does videos, but she's very active in Stitch Mania. So we were all having a conversation on a Facebook thread about chatelaines, because I had watched Deborah's recent video and I had seen her progress on her chatelaine and was just like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And I haven't worked on mine in a while, and this is making me want to get that back out. And then Jessie pipes in with, oh my gosh, I know what you mean. Like, her video with her chatelaine was great and it made me want to work on Frosty, but you know, I can't because I'm done. And then Lorraine had piped in like, you guys are hilarious and I am wanting to order my own chatelaine. And so we were just talking about all of that. And during that conversation, I'm like, okay, I know which one I want to order next, which is the Scotland mandala. And yes, I have gotten my tax return money in, and yes, I really, really want to order that kit. But I've got a couple of things that, you know, I need to be responsible with first. So I'm trying to see towards the end of this month what's left over, and maybe I could sneak that in, because that project has been really calling me for a while now. Yeah, so I don't even know where I went with that tangent. I don't even know. So going back to, see, I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, so going back to my April plans. Okay, so I want to go through this Jessie Marie's birthday style. And then show you whips, little acquisitions. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. So about acquisitions and having to restrain myself. There it is. Full circle. There it is. Okay. Focus. Okay. So, and I've got two very upset dogs over here. Can you see them? There she is. There's Kaya. There she is. There she is. Yes. Hi, sweet baby. You stay back there. And Milo's back there too, but he's kind of on the other side of the wall. You can't see him. Okay. Okay. Focus. 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 Okay. So birthday Sal, which is cool because my birthday's in April too. It's the 18th. So I was able to work a little bit of that into here. Okay, so April 15th, let me pull this up on my phone, what each category is. Hang on. Come on. Okay, there we go. So April 15th, her first 29th birthday, because we all know how that goes. I'm getting ready to celebrate my 6th 29th birthday. So the theme for that one is stitch on your oldest whip. Okay, and this was kind of cool because I've been stitching, let's see, I learned how to cross stitch. My mom taught me when I was probably, I want to say like 11 or 12, somewhere in there. And I actually have my very first project and it's still not even finished. So I have that. So let me pull that out here. Yeah. Okay. My foot's falling asleep. I gotta turn. Okay. So I have my very, very first whip that I ever started. And it is, do I have the book? I know I have the book here somewhere. Hold on. I have to because there it is. Okay, so it comes from this book, Ballet Classics, from Cross My Heart Inc. And it is, do they have a colored photo in here? I don't think they do. It is this one. The ballet slippers with the roses. And I was able to put toe shoes and roses, that's what it's called. I was able to put my artistic talents to use here. I'm talking. Because on my very first cross stitch project, I did a color conversion. And I think the reason why I have never picked this back up again was because I didn't store the floss very well, so I don't even know where the colors are that I had substituted in. So I'm gonna have to go through and match shades and hope I get it right. But this is where it is. And it's on Ada. And so in the picture that I showed you, those roses are pink. Well, I changed them to yellow. So you can see a little stain down here. Look at that. I have to get that out. This was my very, very first project I ever started. So I am going to try and work on that a little bit. So dirty. When I first learned how to stitch, I stitched in hand, and I can see so much dirt on this fabric. This is pretty bad. Now that I use scroll frames and Q-snaps, like this makes me cringe. Okay, so anyway, that is my first and oldest whip. Okay, there's that. That is April 15th. April Ooh. I ordered something, the mail just came, and I ordered something for my husband that he doesn't know about, and I think it just got here. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Okay. Sorry, I've got my box of stuff here. Okay, so April 16th is Jessie Marie Does Stuff, Jessie Marie and Danny Seitz stitch on something related to the letter J, M, D, or S. J, M, D, or S. Okay, so I chose to work on my Joan Elliott dollhouse. Yes. Joan Elliott dollhouse, which Joan fits with the J and dollhouse goes with D. So double whammy. All right, so that, when it is done, will look like this. You guys have seen this one before, a while ago. I haven't worked on this in a while. I love this project though. It's got so many little things in it that each thing feels like a little finish. It's really cool. So I am here. Here we go. So I've framed out the next few rooms, gotten the flooring and the walls done. So I think I'm about to ready to start working on furniture. So I'll be working on that one for April 16th. Trying to watch the time on my iPad because every time I film on this thing, it drops the frame, and I like emptied out all the storage on this thing, so I'm hoping that it holds out on me. Okay, April 17th is enabled. Stitch on something you were enabled to start or purchase. Okay, so I had to rearrange some things. I went with a stitch in time for this one. Because when this one came out, I think, well, not everyone, but there were a lot of people that started this project. And I kept seeing everyone's work, and I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta jump on that bandwagon. So here's where I have gotten to on this, and this is going to be part of my whip section today because I worked on this in the month of February. So there's what I am. I'm working down page 2. You can see 2 books right here. I love the detail. So beautiful. When this area here started coming to life, I was like, oh my gosh, that is really cool. So that is April 17th. Pull this back up. Okay. April 18th, which is my birthday, the theme for that day is favorite colors. Stitch on something maroon or red, orange or purple. So I had a little fun with this one. Since it's my birthday, and a year ago on my birthday, I started this project, and it just fits this category perfectly because it's got a lot of purple in it. And the project is Nora Corbett's Sweet Pea Fairy. Because sweet peas are the flower of the month of April, and this fits perfectly into this day because her dress is full of shades of purple. So here's where I am on this one. This is on 32 count Belfast from Picture This Plus in the color Fresco. There she is. I'm doing the skin 1/1. So yeah, that'll be fun to do. Haven't gotten her out in quite a while. And when I hadn't been in the mood to work on Mirabilia since finishing Christmas in London because that was such a huge project. I've actually been working on full coverage stuff like all month because I needed a different style to work on for a while. Okay, so that was the 18th. The 19th is bulldog. Stitch on something with an animal, bonus points if it's a bulldog. Well, I don't own a bulldog. I own a boxer and a Dalmatian, and I don't have any cross-stitch themed boxers or Dalmatians, and I need to change that. But I do have, and I had to do a little rearranging because I do have a cross-stitch with a cat, but I put that on a different day, and you'll see why in a second. I'm going to work on things that go bump because it's got kitty cats in it, and it's got bats in it, and those are animals. So things that go bump. And I am not very far on this at all. This is on I think this is on a 28 count white Lugana. So I've just got the top part done. Just little bats. So that will be for the 19th. This is fun. I haven't done a video like this in a while where I've actually had plans. Okay, so the 20th is Miss Congeniality, stitch on something pretty. And this was a no-brainer. I'm gonna work on my chatelaine. I'm gonna work on Persian Iris Garden from chatelaine. Here's where I am. All that sparkle. This one deserves a really up close and personal shot here. Look at that treasure braid. Oh, that treasure braid. And then the center, of course. Look at the center. So if you don't think that that's pretty, I don't know what's wrong with you. So something pretty. Chatelaine, hands down. Okay, so that's the 20th. The 21st is Taurus Diamond, stitch on something you find difficult related to the Taurus or Diamond. I don't have anything related to the Taurus or Diamond, but I do have a project that I am having some difficulty with, and not technique-wise, but motivational-wise, which is sad because this is such a cool project. The one I put down for this day is Max, which is the cat project. And here's what it looks like when it's finished. It's a Dimensions Gold Collection piece. I've also had this one for many, many, many years, and it really is time that it gets done. But the sad thing is that I find it difficult to get any motivation to stitch on this. Like once I get it out, like I can sit there and dream about it and be like, yes, I want to work on Max. Like I love all the details that go into that project. It's such a cool project. And then I get it on my frame and I'm like, and I think I know why. It's because Dimensions and their gold collections, so their regular kits and their gold collections, they include a lot of half stitches, like 10 stitches. And I just don't know if that's necessarily my thing. Like it's super fast to stitch, which is awesome. But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the style. I don't know what it is, but I have a lot of trouble staying motivated once I actually start stitching. So here's where I am on Max. Sweet little sleeping kitty. Look at that. And you can see up in the corner here, that way, you can see I'm working on the bag. It's a bag. I'm guessing like a tackle fishing supply bag. And the majority of that is half stitches. And I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, I find it difficult to keep my motivation going for this one. Okay. So the trash people just came, and I feel really bad because all of our demo stuff, like all the old carpet, all padding, like tile, everything is out on the curb in hopes that they will collect it. And I feel really bad, like, for doing that to them. I think next week I should probably try and like offer them something as like a peace offering. Okay, so that was the 21st. Okay, so it's 22nd, close to 30. And there's lots of exclamation points and question marks here. Stitch on something that's close to finishing. Okay, I don't really have anything that's close to finishing. It's kind of a bummer. So this is the only thing I could really think of because it's small. This is the Outlander bookmark that I've been working on. It's nowhere near finishing, but it's the only thing I could think of to put in this category. Okay, so here's where I am. There's Claire. She's sitting above Craig Nadoon, and then below that is her wedding band that Jamie had forged out of the, spoiler alert, if you have not read the series, the key to Lallybroch. So there's that, and I don't have a picture of what it looks like finished, but there's a whole like tartan border that goes around it, and then Jamie sits down here, which you can see I've got my needle threaded for his hair color. Jamie sits down here, and then there's some other things going on up above, and my foot keeps falling asleep. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to use that for something close to being finished. And this is also going to come up again here in a second. Okay, so that's the 22nd. I guess they got all my garbage because they drove away. Or they just left it out there. I'm going to have to haul it to the dump. Okay. Okay, so that was the 22nd. 23rd, the theme for that day is 29. So stitch on something related to 29. 29 stitches, 29 minutes, 29th whip, 29 letters in the title, etc. I had to stretch with this one. So I'm going to do, hang on, let me put some things back. I'm creating a huge mess down here. Lucky I'm able to find anything. I'm going to stitch on Amish Life. I don't think I don't have the full, well, it's kind of the full piece. I'm only on the first part. So my mom started this many, many years ago, and the fabric is big enough to put all three of them like together. So I'm going to stitch for 29 minutes on, yeah, I guess I got everything, on Amish Life. And this is from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, May, June of '87. It's vintage. And this is the original magazine. Okay. So I think the last time y'all saw this was last year in May for Mania. Here's where I am. So I'm working through the field there. So yeah, 29 minutes will be devoted to that project. Okay. Okay, now the 24th, bookish. Stitch on something related to a book or story, or if you want, make up a story about your chosen whip. Okay, so I'm going to go back and do more work on the Outlander bookmark because bookish. The 25th is Jessie's birthday. Woo! Woohoo! So she wants us to stitch on a new start or your most recent start or something birthday themed. And I'm going to go back to Sweet Pea Fairy because that's the one I started for my birthday last year. And I think that that could be considered birthday themed. And I'm kind of running out of whips to use for this challenge. So we're going to pull that one back out. And then April 26th, the theme is family. Stitch on something related to family. So I'm going to work on Patchwork by John Houtman. Here's what it looks like finished. And instead of his homestead name in here, I have had it recharted for my family's last name. Well, not my maiden name, my married family's name. My mother has hers, the same project done for my maiden name. I'm gonna have to, I have a video idea about all of that coming up pretty soon. So I have it on this ginormous piece of fabric that really, if I was smarter, I should have cut this down. But there's where I am right now. So I'll put in some work on that. And that wraps up the birthday sal. Okay. So until that starts on the 15th of April, I don't have any like plans. Like, you know, I had a rotation for a while and then I got to the point where I don't want to have a rotation. I just wanted to stitch whatever I wanted to stitch on. And so I've pretty much just been doing that, which doesn't necessarily make for the most entertaining update videos, but it keeps me happy, and I think that's what's important. So I worked on Stitch in Time, which I showed you, and I worked on Max for a little bit, which I showed you. But recently, the majority of my stitching time has gone to restarting my first Heaven and Earth design, which is Some Enchanted Evening by Randall Spangler. And I don't have the paper over here with me that shows you what the finished design looks like, but you can Google it you can look it up on the Haid website, Some Enchanted Evening. So I restarted this project because I had originally been doing it on 25 count white Lugana, two floss threads over one fabric thread. You know, and I kind of got that rebel itch and I was like, I want to be different from everybody. I'm going to make this work, yada, yada, yada. And well, it didn't work out. It was miserable to stitch on. It was too bulky, too thick. And I wasn't enjoying it. So I made the decision to restart it. The leftover fabric from that project is being used for a Mania start. But I went to order a new piece of fabric for my restart. And before I did that, I looked through my big bin of fabric, and because my mom had passed down most of her stash to me, and I knew that I had seen some larger cuts of fabric in there, and by the time she stopped stitching, she was really only working on 25 count because that's all her eyes would allow her to really work on. And so I was like, surely maybe there's got to be a piece in here. And sure enough, there was. However, it's not the typical white that everybody stitches on. It is actually a color, which is perfect because this design has a lot of darker shades in it, and I chose to restart it on 25 count, one thread over one. And I know the coverage is not as great as, say, 2 over 1 or even 1 over 1 on 28 count. It's on 25 count 1 over 1, it's got a more delicate look to it. But by stitching it on this dyed fabric, it still allows for really good coverage because it's not white that's peeking through in parts, it's blue. So this is my new restart of Some Enchanted Evening by Randall Spangler. So the camera can pick up. There we go. So I decided to start right in the middle because restarting at the same point again probably would have sent me into fits of boredom. So I restarted in the very middle, and I'm doing the page right smack dab in the center of the design, and I'm just going to work my way out from there. I have the freedom to go any direction that I want to. So I wish the lighting would kind of play a little bit better. There we go. You can see a castle turret coming into view, and there's some windows there, and it's really neat because you can see the perspective. It's this is the corner of part of the castle, and so you can see the perspective, the angles as those windows come in. So that's been really fun to watch. Really fun. So that's what I've been working on the past few weeks. Yeah, so let's see. Acquisitions. And I just realized I have 2 pieces of fabric that I got that I don't have down here. That's okay. I posted them on Instagram a few weeks ago. So if you are curious about what those look like, you can find me on Instagram. I am running.stitch18, and I'll put it right down here for you. You can go check that out. But I did I bought a few needle minders, and I bought a book, and I have purchased a piece of fabric from Stephanie at Hand Dyed Fabrics by Steph, but I know it's going to be a couple more weeks before it gets here. But I did find something that might solve my fabric dilemma from the last video. Was it the last video? Maybe it was the last video. So we'll talk about that first. So one of my Mania new starts, is going to be Peony Garden by Mirabilia. And she's done on this fabric you see in the photo is 32 count light pink sand. And while that's very nice and all, I kind of wanted something hand dyed, but very, very subtle. I didn't want something super contrasty. So I had ordered 2 pieces of fabric, and neither one was going to work. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Everything just seems like this. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's me being very picky. So I was looking through that fabric bin from my mom, and maybe this was just meant to be. Maybe it was. I stumbled upon, and I'm pretty sure this is 28 count, which is great. I stumbled upon this gem, which is similar to that light pink sand that's in the photo, except this is a little bit rosier of a pink, but look at the modeling. It's just so subtle, and I wish the light is so bright in here that it's washing this out just a little bit, but I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work. That I did order another piece from Stephanie, which is going to be a few more weeks before it comes in, which is a completely different route color-wise from this. So when that comes in, I think I'll make my final decision, but I think this might be it's going to go on. So not only did I score probably the fabric it's going to be stitched on. I got it for free. I didn't have to pay anything. Yeah. Hand-me-down stash can be very beneficial. So yay! That problem might be solved. Okay. So it kind of is an acquisition, but it wasn't one I had to pay for, which is nice because fabric can be expensive. Okay, so I got some needle minders. I showed you one. Let me get it off here. It was on my Heaven and Earth design here. I got 3. No, I got 4, and I don't even have one in here with me. It's okay. This one, which is super pretty. And I got the Pirate Doubloon. A few weeks ago we were watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and had to order that. So I got that one. There's another one that I got that's actually on my Under the Sea Sal piece that I haven't even touched yet. I haven't even touched March's block yet, and it's all fish. And you know, and I told you guys last month how I feel about this fish, which is funny because I was watching another Flosstuber. I don't remember who it was. I feel bad because I don't remember who it was. They're doing the same thing, and she didn't like the fish either. She called them very fiddly, which I completely agree. Yeah, they're really fiddly. So I haven't had the desire to start on that, which is frustrating because I don't want to get behind. But anyway, one of the other ones I ordered, it's a compass, a jeweled compass. Yeah. And then I got this pretty lady. Isn't she gorgeous? Gorgeous. It's one of those polymer clay ones. So these are all from Gina's Unique Boutique. So I think I've got enough needle minders for a little bit. I don't need to order anymore. But she's really pretty. And then the book I got from Amazon was Teresa Wensler, The Best of Teresa Wensler. And I'm going to have to make one of these a new start pretty soon. And I think, I love the castle. And Miss Oh So Crafty, Stephanie from Miss Oh So Crafty is doing the castle. And I love seeing her whip. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I'll have to do this one someday. However, there is one in here that is probably going to be the first one that I do. And I think it's the most difficult one in here, which really says a lot about me because I feel like a lot of times my motto is challenge accepted. So this is Stroke of Midnight. Cinderella leaving the ball. Now this pattern is fascinating because number one, it's a full coverage, but number two, the bits of her dress, like the collar area here, the waistline, and all of the same pattern in the ruffle of her dress and her skin are charted 1/1. 1/1. And I'll show you from a distance what I'm talking about. Okay, so find the pattern here. Hang on. Here we go. Okay, so from a distance, if you can stitch this like from way back here, then you're a rock star. Okay, so here's, regular pattern. And this thing is broken up into like 6 pages. So you can see that they leave this part of her dress empty. And up here, all of this is empty. Because it's charted here 1/1. And when I saw that, I was like, yep, I have to accept this challenge because that That's amazing. So, Stroke of Midnight, where are you? That's going to be my first start from this book. So what's in here? Let me go through this real quick. We have Rapunzel. She's really pretty too. I love her. Rapunzel. We have Day. Pretty. We have Night. I love the borders. And these two have some specialty stitches. They look like they have eyelets and what are those? I can't remember the name. Rice stitches? Maybe? Stitches? Here is Magical Night. It's really pretty. And most of these have metallics and beads in them too. Y'all, my foot is asleep. Like, asleep. Whew, that does not feel good. Carousel. The Castle Sampler. Stroke of Midnight, which I've showed you guys already a couple times. The Castle, which that's really pretty. I hear there's lots of blends. Well, there's lots of blends in all of these, but I hear there's lots of blends in this one. There's Pegasus. Almost looks like a tapestry. Pretty. Unicorn, which I'm going to have to do this one because when you throw a piece onto black fabric and hold it in front of me, again, I'm like, yeah, challenge accepted. So, Unicorn. And I think that's it. Hello. You had a phone call come through and it drops frame on my iPad. I was doing so well too. It was frustrating. Okay, so those are the patterns in this book. I love it. I think it was a great purchase. When you can get something like this for about 20 bucks, I'd say you scored big time because that is all this right here. That's a lifetime worth of stitching, like in itself. Just this book, like a lifetime worth of stitching. Maybe for me. Maybe not for you, but maybe for me. Anyway, okay, so yay, thanks friend for calling and dropping my frame. Now I have to actually edit this video. Okay, so that's what I've got for you. I cannot wait until I get to show you my mania plans because I've got some serious start mania plans and I've been kidding things up. So to go along with my acquisitions, I went and probably bought enough floss for like 6 projects last week. So I'm getting all of that put together. I think I need like maybe 12 more skeins of floss that they were out of at the store. I've got my last piece of fabric on order for Peony Garden, which may or may not work. We'll have to see. But I think I'm ready to go. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. So next month in April, when I'm going to make 2 videos. I'm going to do an update video and then I'm going to do my mania plans video. And then I have another video. Maybe I can get it done over spring break while I have the time. I had the idea to go to my parents' house and kind of do a vlog style, some vlog style footage of all of my mother's cross stitch because she's the one who taught me how to do this and she's got She's done quite a bit more than this, but displayed, she has like 17 pieces displayed in her house. And a lot of those pieces are kind of starting to come back into the trend. So I want to go around and kind of introduce you to her and go around her house and let her talk about her pieces that she's done and has on display because they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I want to try and do that over spring break. I'm not going to say I am because I don't want to commit myself to it because we've got a lot going on with the floors, but I would like to try. Sometime in the near future, I will do it. So anyway, yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy this week, laying new floors, trying to keep up with my runs. I'm going to try and film some video footage out on a run one day. Just to kind of take you through that, because that's my other life's passion. So just, my children are home, so it's the perfect time to go before all that noise starts up. So anyway, thanks for sharing your time with me, and thanks for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting. I read it all, and I love it all, and you guys are amazing, and I hope you have a wonderful week.